Hey everybody, it's PAX Prime 2013. Sean McInnes here, alongside Rowan Parker from Q Games, who's going to show us a little bit of PixelJunk Inc. Rowan, tell me what's going on here.
I'm about to make soup. Making soup is awesome. Everyone should be doing it more. So what we're doing here is I've just crash landed on this planet, and I'm just gathering a little bit of matter, and then what I need to do is I need to start my soup factory. So we're going to be building a gigantic soup base, and we'll be shipping soup and selling it. And everyone knows the way you sell soup is by firing it into space. Okay, so we'll just go here. Just need an office building to get me started. I'll just put it up here and let it fall down into the sky. I'll ride it down like an expensive elevator until it finds equilibrium. Cool, here we go. So the boss is telling me to make soup, so I better do it. So some of the recipes that you can make is all of the soup that you make is using the ingredients of the environment around you. So all the natural flora and fauna, you're gonna grab all of that and put it in a big blender and make soup out of it. Sausage party, yeah. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just get going here a bit. This blue blocks here that are falling out, this is your particle matter or matter that you use to build all of the buildings that are gonna make your base. Oh, way to fall. So you collect all of the matter here and you can use it to build all of the buildings that you're going to need. So you can get some infrastructure going, just building a few corridors here. And you can just stamp down what you need with, you can just stamp down what you need. You can rotate with L and R and just keep building your base up and up and up. Until we're powered and then fly out this way. So it could take me a little while to build a whole base for you guys just in a sandbox game now. So what I'll do is, this is a pre-organized base a little bit. We have a few other things we need here. Over on the side here is a deconstructor. You can go and grab some blocks out of the world here. You can break them down into matter parts. Oh, I've got guys in the base. Sorry, hang on. I'm just going to have to deal with this. Just there we go. Yeah, uppercut that guy. So here's the soup factory. So if I can find some mushrooms, I can start making some soup. So there should be some mushrooms somewhere around here. Maybe over on the side. I'm going to cut over this way. Oh, there we go. I'm going to make my way down here. So I already know without checking, but one of the recipes is wonder mushroom. So it's one blue and one green mushroom. So if I can get them back to the base, I can start making soup.
So when you're actually out there exploring the world, what sort of dangers are out there? What happens when you wander too far from the safety of your base?
So there's a heap of different enemy types which are all floating around outside. Depending on how strong you are, of what you've been upgrading or spending your research points and your money on, you might be a fairly strong guy and you can take them on, but some people might need to just dash out and dash back in. Depending on the world type that you're in as well, sometimes there's these poisonous gas-producing gaspers. I can't actually see one here. There might be one a little further on, I'll go and find one, but there's a couple of environmental dangers as well. So this particular map has the gas, and you need to be careful of that, otherwise you'll run out of oxygen. Also, if I just do this, I can cut. You need to be careful of cave-ins like that, and then all of the rocks will fall. So be careful not to get caved in on. You can build struts if you need to support. Here we go. That's a bit safer. So now I can safely dig out from the side here, and it's not going to fall on me. So the more you build out, you'll leave your footprint on the world, and your base will get bigger and bigger. So I'll just go here, and I'm going to make this last bit of soup. Cool, soup factory's going. So if I come to the top of this corridor here, so this is our launch pad where you ship soup from, and to sell soup, you fire it into space. So once you sell soup and you start generating money, you use the money that you made from selling soup to buy research and upgrades for your base. That's how you level up, you get stronger, and you unlock new cool things. So here's the soup that we just made, it's finished. I'm going to grab that, I'm going to take it upstairs, pop it in his mouth, hit the red button, and there he goes. And he's shipped, and that's off, it's gone. So as my base gets bigger and bigger, I'm going to have more factories and more rockets and more things to help me with my production. But the bigger my base gets, the more attention I attract from enemies as well. And it's those enemies that you need to defend against with towers like this. So there's a big tower defense element in needing to protect and build your base up as well. The more of, the bigger it gets. So I can show you a pre-prepared base. Oh, there we go. I'm getting attacked now. Good timing. Tower took care of it. So this is a fairly advanced base. After a couple of hours, your base will probably look something like this. It might be a little more organized than mine, but so this base is almost fully automated. One of the key things about Inc is when you're scaling up your production, you can't do everything yourself eventually. I mean, you'll have lots of factories and lots of rockets, and you need to find ways to automate those processes. So these little robots here that are all flying around, I'll just go and find one of them. Oh, there we go, they're upstairs. Go and grab one of these guys. So what they're doing is they're carrying ingredients for me here like this, and they're flying around and putting all the ingredients onto conveyor belts and into buildings and factories for me and helping automate lots of the processes. They're programmable as well. Like if I open up his brain, you can have a list of sensors and actions that I can plug into him, and I can tell him what to do. Like at the moment, these guys are pre-programmed for packs, but they're collecting ingredients, they're harvesting plant life for me, and if they've got nothing else better to do, they'll come find me and say hi.
Now, is there any sort of like end game or win state that you're working towards?
So at the moment, we still just are playing in sandbox mode for the... Whoa, I just got owned. This base is fairly large, so I'm getting a lot of attention from enemies, but I have enough towers to hopefully deal with it. So an end game state we're currently thinking of is that you should make your own soup company. Yeah. And you stop working for the man, for Soup Co, and you go and you make your own company and then start selling soup. So then people could be able to experiment with their own soup. Oh, sorry, hang on. I gotta take this space robot blowfish. You eventually make your own money making your own soups and just like design this massive base. And one of the key things I want to show you as well is that this is like a gigantic Rube Goldberg machine. You see these pipes here where the robots are taking them up, and then they're getting transported over from the left here, brought over up there. Robots are putting them in the compressor to generate rocks. Those rocks are getting turned into matter. Meanwhile, down this side, we've got grabbers here, which are pulling up ingredients as they fall into them. So as you chuck in and the robots deliver on the side, these grabbers can pull things up. Robots will put them in the pipe. It's a gigantic machine, like a massive soup-making incredible machine. Oh, and it just grabbed me as well. It's handy sometimes. I want to show you some of the vehicles as well.
All right.
So depending on what kind of player you are, there's different tiers of research, and the main trees that we're thinking is like construction is your engineering, so you can upgrade your towers and your buildings. These will be turtling style players. Personally, I'm a bit of a turtle player. AI is where you can upgrade your robots to help automate a lot of the processes that you're doing, and tools and weapons and vehicles are more for the exploratory players who want to go and look further abroad. So for an exploring player, I'm just going to grab this pogo stick and ride off into the sunset. Bye base. It's getting destroyed. So vehicles are something that for an exploring type player, they can quickly scout for more valuable rare ingredients and then bring them back to their base and sell them for a higher profit for different types of soup. But oh wait, I'm stuck inside. There we go. Pogo sticks don't work in water either, so we'll just dump it. But then, say if I was a tools or equipment researching player, I might have something like this. So this buzzsaw is one of the more advanced tools that you could, research or upgrade if you're spending your money on that. But the trade-off is maybe your towers aren't as high level, maybe your base is a bit weaker. So we want players to think about, what kind of decisions they're going to make for, while they're playing. I'm just going to dig my way down here. I'm going to drain this lake. Just because we can. If I drain the lake, maybe I'll get my pogo stick back. Another point I want to make is this whole world is alive with an ecology. So all of this seaweed you see here in the fish, the ivy that's back in some of the other rooms, and these mushrooms and plant life, all of these creatures have an ecosystem, and they eat different plant life, they propagate, they die of starvation. But what it means is, unlike other sandbox style, tile games like this, our game is running off screen all the time. So in maybe Terraria or Minecraft, when you leave things alone off to the side, they're not necessarily always alive and updating, but the whole point of Inc is that when I leave my base alone, it could be under attack, and the turrets have to defend it. But the flip side advantage of that is that I could come back to this cave here in 30 minutes, and it might be full of ivy plants, and some creatures might have moved in and they've taken home, and if you can figure out how to understand that ecosystem, you can exploit it to farm tomatoes and become a tomato soup baron or something. So I'll restart for you and I'll go back to, just dive back in here. But yeah, managing resources while you're playing is just so critical. And being online co-op as well, being able to play with your friends, we just want as many people as possible to jump in and make a gigantic super contraction base with each other.
And so with this being a PC game, are you guys planning on adding in mod support?
Oh god, yes. Modders, you're welcome. We're going to do, probably end up doing an early access alpha or like an early alpha release on Steam as soon as we can. And I want to do Steam Workshop support right from the start. Yeah, we want modders to make your own enemies, make your own tools, make your own vehicles. The idea of it being a sandbox is that we can put all of the ingredients, no pun intended, in there for the players, and then they can choose, you know, how to make fun out of it themselves. And modders are just going to be able to add more and more to the broth for us.
So what is your release plan right now? You mentioned early access. What sort of cycle are you guys working towards for an ultimate release date?
So, well, there's actually only 3 of us working on it. Oh no, sorry, we got 4 now. We're up to a big 4. So we're just working as quickly as we can to get this alpha available to people on Steam. The build we brought today is fairly polished, but we just want to add more depth and more content to it. So, you know, as soon as we feel comfortable taking people's money. So hopefully, you know, maybe early this year, end of this year, early next year, or, you know, as soon as we can get it on Steam.
All right, Rowan, thanks a lot.
No worries, man.